Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked where I climb the online VGC 20 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. In the last episode, we featured a really cool team with Slurpuff, so if you want to try it out, it is a rental team. I have linked the code in the description below. I found out it was actually originally created by one of Wolfie's Twitch subscribers who shared it with the Twitch Discord, and then one of the players from that Discord was able to get top 16 in the Champions Cup this past weekend. So thank you to Nox, I believe that is the original creator of the team, for building it and for sharing it with everyone, and let's just jump into today's episode. As always, if you guys enjoy, please share support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. I do apologize, I've been pretty tied up with stuff outside of Pokemon in the last couple of days, so sorry for the really late upload today and no upload yesterday, but thank you guys as always for tuning into these videos. Okay, we're up against one heck of a team here. We're pretty high up on the ladder as well, so we'll see how much higher we can get right now. But Charizard, Whimsicott, Durant, Primarina, Conkeldurr, and the Ninetales. So definitely a mix of a lot of cool things here. So the first thing I always ask myself when, with this team is whether you can lead Slurpuff Indeedee. And I do think Whimsicott Charizard is rather oppressive. My opponent doesn't have great Trick Room counters, though. For example, if I led Incineroar and Dusclops, there's not much stopping me from just getting a Trick Room up, and I think Trick Room might be the way to go in this game specifically, mainly because Slurpuff Indeedee gets dunked on by Whimsicott Durant. Like, Whimsicott could just set the pace with the weather and go from there, and I think we still can bring Venusaur, but I'm not the biggest fan of Slurpuff anytime we're matching up against a Steel-type Pokemon, and Tailwind as well. The combination of that just makes things pretty difficult, I think. So, yeah, we're gonna get into it. Question of the day, I'm curious how you guys have just been keeping yourselves busy in this kind of crazy time. For me personally, I've been actually applying to business school, so that's part of the reason why I've been pretty occupied these last couple of days, but I've been playing a lot of Teamfight Tactics and League of Legends as well, and cooking more, and just doing more outside of just playing games every day, although I'm still playing a lot, obviously. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. It's gonna be Primarina and Charizard to kick off this game. Okay. I mean, I feel like this is a relatively free fake out into Primarina and Trick Room, but I could actually see my opponent Dynamaxing Primarina as we see Throat Spray and Life Orb. Okay. You could Dynamax the Primarina and then go for Max Geyser, like overheat Max Geyser into the Dusclops, which would be really tricky. Because here, like, Charizard's obvious, like the candidate you would think would Dynamax, right? I don't know. Part of me really wants to fake out Charizard, because I feel like Primarina is just such a better Pokemon to Dynamax against me here. Yeah, question is how hard my opponent commits to nuking Dusclops as well, and try to get a one-hit KO. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's little reason to Dynamax Charizard, so I'm going to fake that out and Trick Room, expecting Primarina to actually max turn 1. Neither actually Dynamax. Okay. Alright, that's fine by me, I guess. It's gonna go for a Hyper Voice. So we'll get Trick Room up, and this does not get a one-hit KO. It actually activates my weakness policy as well. But Incineroar, not exactly in an amazing position right now. Either way, very interesting start to the game, that's for sure. Okay. So you would think Primarina would want to Dynamax. The fact that it's Throat Spray and not Assault Vest is good information. We might even Dynamax Torkoal in this game, honestly. As crazy as that seems, because we've already taken too much damage onto Incineroar to consider Dynamaxing it. With Torkoal in the back, I'm leaning towards, like, I just really don't think you're going to Dynamax a Charizard under Trick Room right now. So I'm leaning towards, I think I want to Flare Blitz and Nightshade the Primarina and just get as much damage as possible onto that. This also gives me a free switch into, and yeah, we're going to see a Dynamax. Gives me a free switch into the Torkoal. I feel like you Dynamax Primarina, but I could be wrong. This was a good lead by my opponent. I think it was actually really clever. And yeah, Primarina does Dynamax. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll chip away at this enough where it'll probably be in KO range from a max... I was gonna say Max Overgrowth from Torkoal. Let's see how much we do. It's really solid damage, not bad. I wonder if, no, I don't think Eruption would KO. He's gonna have to Max Starfall, yep, into Incineroar, yep, and Charizard here will go for an attack, but probably take some damage through Life Orb Recoil, assuming it has it. Or it does have it, because we saw it Frisk. Okay, so that sets up the terrain, which is fine by me for now. And it's just going to be a Air Slash. Okay. See how much this does. A lot of damage. We get a crit there, which isn't very good. That's definitely pretty frustrating. That crit means we are in KO range now from that Charizard. Now, we could very easily go for just Eruption here, but the problem is that Charizard's Air Slashes actually do a sizable amount, and I've actually activated the Solar Power for it now. Primarina protecting here is relatively obvious. I mean, I feel like a max Flare just KOs Charizard, so I'm actually leaning towards targeting the Charizard here, mainly because, I mean, does my opponent expect the max Overgrowth? That's the thing. Because I can really see Primarina max guarding here. Yeah, I'm gonna make the read. Double up on a Charizard. I think Max Flare might just KO it, honestly, but we're about to find out. But yeah, I'm kind of forced to Dynamax Torkoal in this position. Even if Primarina doesn't max, I don't know. I really feel like you guard here, but maybe I should have been willing to just take a Solar Powered Air Slash. I think the actual best play might have been to protect Torkoal, like max Torkoal and protect. But if Primarina protects her, then this is worth it. Okay, and it max guards. Beautiful. That's great. Okay, perfect. So we should dunk on the Charizard here with Max Flare. Let's see. Yeah, that just one-shots. Oh, that's strong. Nice. The awkward thing right now, though, is that we have Venusaur as our last Pokemon, right? So Venusaur won't be able to do very much under Trick Room right now. Although my opponent's team is, like, relatively fast, but the sun is up and I don't have Protect. So ideally, I don't have to bring out the Venusaur until Trick Room is over, but that's easier said than done. My opponent has Whimsicott, though, which is perfect to see here. I mean, there's really not much stopping me here from just max Overgrowthing, I think, and Nightshading the Primarina. I'm just double checking everything. I mean, Psychic... No, Psychic Terrain's not on the field. Just worried about some cheese from the Whimsicott right now, but I don't know if max Overgrowth KOs, so I'm going to just double up with Nightshade and Overgrowth. Whimsicott is not a Pokemon I expected to see, and my opponent actually switches out the Primarina, which I actually think is the correct play, because otherwise Primarina is just going to feint to an Overgrowth. But I had to play it safe there, as Durant comes out. Okay. So this is super interesting, because we still have multiple turns of Trick Room to work with. And Torkoal and Venusaur, I think, are in really, really good shape right now. It's not much damage there at all. Sets up the terrain, though, which is important because it means our damage output against Primarina in the late game is also increased from Venusaur. We'll get a Nightshade off, too. This should bring it just over red HP. Yep. And it's just going to be Energy Ball. Okay. And we actually survived despite Grassy Terrain being up. That's pretty clutch. Nice. Okay. Well, my opponent's given up max. Let's see. There is only one turn of Trick Room, but a Max Flare will obviously just dunk on the Durant. Yeah, I mean, that'll KO through Max Guard. I have Venusaur in the back. And I think I actually see Durant swapping out into Primarina, but a double up should KO that slot since Torkoal goes first. So if Durant protects, we just KO it. If you switch out into Primarina, we KO that through the double up. And if you don't protect, the Flare KOs you, and then Nightshade gets redirected into Whimsicott. The Venusaur will obviously win this late game after Trick Room expires, but it has to worry about Whimsicott setting up Tailwind and Durant sweeping. But Durant is gonna... Or actually, Whimsicott opts for the Protect. Okay, but yeah, there's no reason to really target Whimsicott here. And we're gonna nuke this Durant. I actually really wonder what the damage calc is. This is 150 base power Max Flare in Sun boosted by Charcoal as well against the Durant. So the big play in this game was basically reading the Protect from the Primarina. And I don't know, I felt like it was a relatively obvious Protect, but I don't think we faint from a Max Geyser because the sun is up, but it would still do a lot of damage and it would change the weather. But in that position, I felt like Charizard probably wasn't protecting. So Dynamax Sense now, and this is still not over by any means. Let me just double check everything. 2 turns of Sun. This is actually still potentially scary. Now, I don't think these two Pokemon should have a way to hit Venusaur, but like what you could do right now is Fake Tears Torkoal and go for a I was gonna say Fake Tears and Hyper Voice, although I honestly don't think that KO's Dusclops in the range I'm at. Yeah, we're actually really not in the clear. Well, I actually want to ally switch. Yeah, because that blocks the Fake Tears. Allowing us to survive. And then if we KO the Primarina, we should win. Okay, yeah, up there for Energy Ball. I don't think we faint from a Hyper Voice in Sun. Okay, nice. Oh, that was actually really close. Oh, but I Heat Waved instead of Solar Beam. Oh, I meant to Solar Beam there. Whoops. Okay. But we actually burn the Whimsicott, which seals up the game. Oh, sorry, it doesn't seal up the game because of terrain. Yeah, I meant to Solar Beam the Primarina. Trick Room also could have worked out, although my opponent did target the Dusclops. So, I mean, this next turn I just sacked the Torkoal. Primarina normally doesn't have a way to beat the Venusaur anyway. Yeah. But I obviously misplayed slightly there by Heat Waving. I meant to Solar Beam Primarina. Yeah, we can just Bulldoze here and protect. So we get the free switch into Venusaur. I don't think Primarina has a way to knock out the Venusaur, but I'm pretty happy about how I played this game up until this last point. I guess we saw Energy Ball too. No, I still expect Fake Tears on that set. I think it would make the most sense. But it's just using Energy Ball continuously, which is fine. We have Venusaur in the back. Sun expires, but that should be fine. Unless this Primarina has a way to one-shot Venusaur. That's the one concern. I could have set up Trick Room as well, but Solar Beaming the Primarina was definitely the correct play. The thing is that Primarina there could conceivably protect. And if I protect, Whimsicott gets a free energy wall, but it shouldn't do that much. So, yeah, I thought I clicked Solar Beam, but evidently it was Heat Wave. I also went down to 0 seconds that turn, though, so I wasn't sure if that was like a timeout or something. This is an intense game, but it was closer than it needed to be. Let's see. It's like last turn of grassy terrain. Yeah, which means Whimsicott faints after this turn, so we just Energy Ball. And there's no point in Solar Beaming, so I guess we just Heat Wave. I mean, Whimsicott, I'm sure, has Tailwind. Oh, that was so close. My heart actually jumped out for a second. I was like, wait, does Primarina outspeed us? Thankfully not, but oh my goodness. That's the one way you could have done damage against us. Wow, that was super scary. Anyway, yeah, if Solar Beam just went out, we would have been fine. So one small misplay made this game a lot scarier. I think the ally switch play was fine because if you do have Fake Tears, I don't know, like, the thing is, with the Dusclops, I'm not sure what I'd really want to do. Perhaps it's fine to just Nightshade there. Yeah, either way, I think going for the ally switch is fine. Like, people very rarely expect it in that position. Plus, covers for Fake Tears and any other shenanigans, and we survived with both Pokemon, which is great. So if I just went for the Solar Beam like I intended on doing, then things would have worked out. But that was way closer than it needed to be. That was super scary. Interesting game for sure. I think Primarina is actually a very underrated Pokemon right now. And now we're up against a Heliolisk, so quite the difference in Pokemon today. Unfortunately, Slurpuff and Indeedee just don't look very great here once again. So we might go with the Sun mode. Playing against my Milotic is a huge pain, though. Here's the thing. I need Incineroar to beat Tyranitar, Excadrill, and the Dragapult. Dragapult is a pretty tough matchup for us, but my Milotic also causes huge problems. I might lead something like Venusaur Dusclops with Incineroar Torkoal in the back. I basically don't want to lead Incineroar because if my opponent leads my Milotic, I'm absolutely screwed. If I give that one competitive boost, this game becomes so difficult because it can Dynamax too. The problem with Slurpuff Indeedee here, once again, is that it loses super hard to Tyranitar Excadrill should my opponent lead that, or it just loses hard to Excadrill in general. So the problem is that the Slurpuff gets kind of wrecked, and with this mode, I'm kind of slowing things down a little bit. I can Dynamax the Venusaur to deal with my Milotic, I can Dynamax the Torkoal, and if my Lodic, or if I get Incineroar on the field before my Lodic comes out, I can even Bulldoze, activate my own weakness policy, and go from there. So, alright, let's see. Oh, the Endeavor came out, though, and I was like, wait a second. If Primarina outspeeds me and just KOs both with Hyper Voice, I'm gonna cry. That was so much closer than it needed to be. It's gonna be a Whim Dragapult. Or, sorry, Heliolisk Dragapult. There wasn't even a Whim on that team. Huh. Well, this is interesting, right? Because I can, and I scout the items too, which is nice. Sash and weakness policy. Oh boy, is it Brutal Swing or something? Like to self-activate weakness policy? That could make sense, right? Here's my problem. If it is some kind of weakness policy set, which I honestly see it being, I don't know Heliolisk's full moveset, but there's no other way to really hit yourself for super effective. Then I might just get dumped onto Dusclops. So, as much as I hate this, I do find that playing against Dragapult in this team, I have to either have Incineroar out earlier on. Oh man, this Joy-Con drift is kind of nutty. I think I'm just going to opt for the Sleep Powder turn 1, because if I hit this and Dragapult maxes, I just like win the game. And not necessarily, I guess, but it gives me a huge advantage. I think weakness policy Dragapult, when teams have a way to hit the weakness policy, is one of the tougher matchups for this team. Let's see if we can play around it. It's gonna max. Okay, that's good. That's what you want to see. Unless it's Heliolisk maxing. That could happen. But let's see. Okay, so Dynamax comes out. That's Dragapult. If we hit this, this is so big because we shut down a turn of max. Plus, this is wide lens as well. So our odds of hitting this are obviously higher than normal. But if we miss, I'm going to be one very sad boy because Venusaur probably goes down. Oh my god. And we miss! That probably KOs us, right? You've got to be kidding me. My opponent also made the hard read saying that I wasn't going to bother setting up Trick Room. That's nuts. I mean, they made that play expecting the Torkoal switch in, which was actually a really, really good play. Holy crap. Okay. Oh my, wow. That was an insane play. They read into my play. The thing is, if I hit that Sleep Powder, that actually is fine, because then your Heliolisk has to guarantee take sleep, and my Dusclops can set up Trick Room. But like I said, this matchup isn't super good. Like, weakness policy pull, I think, is one of the worst matchups for this team. And mainly because you can't deal with it super well with Slurpuff and the Indeedee as well. So, you know, that was a gamble I was willing to take, and unfortunately it didn't pay off. But here, at least, maybe I can deny the weakness policy activation with the fake out Heat Wave. I didn't even know that got ally switch, though. I mean, he might ally switch again. No, I don't think he would. I mean, if we could knock Heliolisk out, deny Dragapult from setting up weakness policy, then our approach to winning this game is getting up Dusclops, setting up Trick Room, and then sweeping with either Torkoal and Incineroar. But that was a crazy play. A good one at that, though. That takes so much damage. Yeah, as you can see, it's faster, too. Okay, Max Worm Wind into Torkoal. Okay, so this gives us an opportunity, right? Because our Incineroar hasn't taken any damage. That's 2 turns of Dynamax now down from my opponent. Once again, the frustrating thing is if I hit that Sleep Powder, then that turn 1 actually works out totally fine for me, because what I can do is just bring out Dusclops, Dragapult can't KO me with the Max Phantasm, and I just set up Trick Room, right? And click Heat Wave, while the Heliolisk is asleep. So, yeah, I think Sleep Powder was by far my best play, plus it was even increased odds because of Wide Lens, but sometimes you're going to miss those, you know? So, can't complain too much. It is just the nature of it. And when you're going up against suboptimal matchups, you at least have to come up with the best game plan, and sometimes, like, you know, in some matchups you can kind of optimize things. Tyranitar coming in here is really bad for us, unfortunately. That being said, we do have max fighting. I think I have to switch Incineroar out, though, which I really hate. But we have a chance of winning in the late game by going for this. And I'm just going to go for Heat Wave, because I actually want Torkoal to faint to get the free switch back into Incineroar. The problem falls here is if my opponent predicts the Incineroar switching out into Dusclops, which is a relatively easy prediction to make, I think. Yeah, so policy... Oh, it's banded too. That's not good news for us. And they called the switch out. But that makes sense because you're banded. It's relatively safe to click Max Phantasm and Rock Slide, so I didn't really have any outs. Unfortunately, missing Sleep Powder just lost us this game. And I think if we hit it, we actually would have a really, really good chance of winning. Unless Rock Slide misses here, but no, it doesn't. Yeah, with the defense drop, it's just going to KO. That was a safe play from my opponent. I had pretty much no way around that other than actually maxing Incineroar that turn. If I actually maxed Incineroar that turn, perhaps we had a shot. Because my opponent would have activated my weakness policy, but yeah, we got cheesed a little bit by Ally Switch. So, it is what it is. I really don't think I had a better option, though. Like, the problem of if I lead the Slurpuff and the Indeedee is that I always have to assume weakness policy on Dragapult. You know, which is already kind of tough to play around. Okay, let's see. Is there a way to win right now? I guess it's actually still possible. I shouldn't give up. Because we do have our policy, right? Comes down to what my opponent's last Pokemon would be. But here I'm going to max and just max Knuckle. Dragapult shouldn't be able to do too much damage to us. Although, it's not like we intimidated it. But the fact is Choice banned Tyranitar is really bad for us, too. I don't know. Had I stayed in with Incineroar, I don't have max guard on this thing anyway. So, yeah. I mean, I could have maxed and maybe... Max Knuckle, I don't even think KOs Tyranitar. Damage output is reduced relative to close combat. Tyranitar actually switches out. Ooh, okay. Into Excadrill, I believe? Oh, that's Togekiss. Alright, that's game then. Yeah, I don't really have a way to beat that. So, kind of frustrating game. As you saw here, we actually had a really good matchup if Trick Room gets up because my opponent doesn't have a great way to deal with +2 Incineroar. The Ally Switch was crazy, though. I really didn't see that coming. And even that was fine if we hit it, but like I said, that's the problem with Wide Lens, right? If you miss, you often are just getting KO'd in return. It's gonna be Fly, okay. I don't know. There is still a chance of winning this if the Tyranitar misses a Rock Slide. Although at this point, I think you just go for... That does no damage. I think you just go for a Superpower. You wait for my Dynamax to end, and you go for Superpower. I wonder if +1 Max Flare KOs. If it does, then we still have an opportunity. Because then you have to... Let's see. Yeah, we just Max Flare. I don't think it KOs, unfortunately, though. I feel like Togekiss probably hangs on like 5 to 10%. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes for like Yawn here as well. So, needed to set up Trick Room. Of course, we could have stayed in with Venusaur, right? Stayed in with Dusclops and gone for the Trick Room. So my opponent actually made a very proactive play. And, oh, man. That was actually so risky on my opponent's end. That's frustrating. I actually maybe should have read that switch out. Oh. Because I think if you're my opponent... I mean, that flirted a lot. I guess I actually would have KO'd Togekiss, so my opponent didn't want to risk... I mean, this is still potentially doable, depending on what attack they choose. I think you just click Superpower here, though. Given that the sun is up, we just Max Flare. Those were really good switches. I think that this last turn felt really risky to me, in my opinion. But I guess you just now Dragon Dart Superpower. The thing is, if I predict that and I Max Knuckle into that, you're not... I don't think you win the game. And he risked it on a Stone Edge miss. I mean, I guess there wasn't a more accurate move, but we actually had... a chance to win that. If that Stone Edge misses, we KO the Tyranitar. But then Dynamax is over. We don't have recovery either, so you probably just KO me with Dragapult and Togekiss. I don't know. It felt a little bit unnecessarily risky to me there by switching out, but I guess it paid off. Yeah. Either way, though, I think that was a game where things could have gone very, very differently if turn 1 plays out the way I wanted it to. But once again, I don't think I have a better solution, though, around weakness policy from Heliolisk or Dragapult plus Heliolisk in that game. So that was really cool. I've actually really never seen Heliolisk at all. Normally when I do, I didn't know it even got access to Ally Switch, although I guess at this point, if I don't know what a Pokemon does, I should just assume it has Ally Switch because everything in this generation gets it. So that was tricky to play around. I'm never reading the Ally Switch turn 1 there ever, so... yeah, I figured, I don't know. I think, once again, if Sleep Powder hits, then Dusclops is not in threat of getting KO'd, and I just don't think Slurpuff Indeedee does too much for us in that one. Last game of the day, though, and we're up against a very bulky Lapras team, very much resembling the team that Fevzi was able to use to win the... actually, not really. This team is rather different from Fevzi's team. I should actually... Yeah, they're not very similar. Dragapult's always tricky to play around. And in this case, there is potential weakness policy activation with Shadow Sneak from Dusclops, which I don't like very much. Now, I think you, like, when you see this team in Team Preview, you always have to worry about Venusaur, right? Part of me is actually tempted to go with Slurpuff Indeedee this time around. Unless my opponent hard reads me and leads Dusclops and the Dragapult, this works out pretty well for us. I think I kind of need Incineroar in this matchup because of the Dragapult. I just need more things to match up against it. And for the last one, I think Venusaur being able to launch Powders is still pretty good here because I'm not doing that much damage with Torkoal anyway. So I wanted to bring Slurpuff Indeedee today. We weren't really able to do so in the first 2 games, so I'll give it a go here. The main thing about Dragapult that's scary is if it is a weakness policy set, like a Dazzling Gleam will just activate a weakness policy. Dragapult goes before Indeedee, obviously, and then a Max Wormwind at +2 will obviously just demolish us. So it's one of the tough things to play around. But it is Insane Lapras, which I'm actually very happy to see. Because what we can do, we actually have a lot of options right now. The first thing is that Psychic Terrain is up, which is good. So you can't Fake Out. The second thing is we have Yawn Pressure as well, right? So what I could do this first turn is go for a Fake Tears and a Max Strike, just eliminate the Incineroar as quickly as possible. The other play I could make is Yawning Lapras, but I think Lapras probably goes for a G-Max Resonance. I'm just worried about AB Incineroar. If I commit Dynamaxing Indeedee early on, how do I feel? I feel like if you're Dynamaxing the Lapras, you probably don't have Max Dragapult in the back. Like, you probably have a combination of Togekiss, Ferrothorn, and the Dusclops. So, yeah, I'm going to go for the Fake Tears, the Max, and try to nuke the Incineroar ASAP. Because this Incineroar in general is just kind of annoying to play against for this team. Now, the main reason for that is not because of Fake Out, but, you know, they can just wall a lot of these Pokemon decently well, and they can actually do decent damage to Indeedee as well. So we're going to max the Indeedee. If I could just knock out Incineroar, I mean, if it's not AV, they should definitely KO. And I expect Lapras to Dynamax. I'm also making the call, there's no Pult in the back, and Lapras is max. So, I mean, I could have yawned it turn 1, which only allows it to get 2 attacks off in Dynamax form, or Gigantamax form, rather than 3, but, I mean, Lapras shouldn't do that much damage, plus we can yawn it this next turn anyway, so I don't think I'm that concerned about it. I might come to regret this, though, because it is going to be able to set up screens. The big question also is it AV or Policy? Or sorry, Clay or Policy. But we'll get the Fake Tears off. Once again, that is the beauty of not running a Prankster Fake Tears user. And we'll get Max Strike. I mean, we could have doubled up onto Lapras, but I'd rather knock out Incineroar. Okay, nice. I'm going to speed decrease there, too. Not that that's super relevant. And I'm sure it's a G-Max Resonance, right? Could be a Max Geyser, but I don't see why you wouldn't Resonance. Yep. Okay. See how much this does to Indeedee. Well, less than half, actually, which I'm pretty happy about. So what we can do this next turn is go for Yawn. Here's part of the problem is that Lapras is going to be really bulky. My Incineroar is obviously not going to do very much damage, and I don't have Weather Control in this game, but I don't think Torkoal really would have helped us out too much. But I have Fast Yawn right now, which is one of the most important things, and Lapras shouldn't be able to prevent itself or its partners from falling asleep. Bar of Berry for some crazy reason. As Ferrothorn actually comes in, that's perfect to see, because we have Fire. And that's the beautiful thing right now. By going for Max Flare, that also changes the weather so that a Max Geyser from Lapras will not KO the Indeedee. So we're actually in a very, very good spot right now, I think. I still want to put the Lapras to sleep because if it stays awake, it's going to win pretty easily against... And Lapras Max guards, so my opponent gives up a turn of Max there. Okay, I mean, this might be Assault Vest Ferrothorn when maybe AV Ferrothorn can take the Flare with screens up. I think it might be able to, if it is AV. Yep, it is. Okay. I might knock off. This is KOS. Oh god, it does KO. Oh, I crit. I don't think that mattered, but I don't know. I mean, we were at like 60%. I saw the AV coming too. It's frustrating. Okay. Yeah, if I doubled up in a Ferrothorn, that would have just been an instant GG. Still not the end of the world for us, though. We can still definitely pull this off, especially with Policy Incineroar. Because I can bring in Incineroar right now. You're going to Max Geyser us, but that's actually going to activate our weakness policy. I'm going to get the Yawn off against the Lapras, and I KO the Ferrothorn, which means then the Lapras is guaranteed to fall asleep. Then I can just Fake Tears it a bunch. Intense game, though, for sure. I think Incineroar might be the last one, so I'm going to close combat the Ferrothorn while going for a Yawn onto the Lapras. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Incineroar can't be the last one. We KO'd Incineroar. What am I saying? Flare Blitz is actually better than, because it covers... actually, Darkest Lariat probably just KOs Ferrothorn. I knew it was going to be Assault Vest, too. That was just my bad. I should have Fake Tears. Like, I should always double up onto Ferrothorn. Okay, he stays in with both. And the reason I should always double up onto Ferrothorn is because, oh, we're faster with Incineroar. That's really interesting. Huh. Okay. The reason why I should have doubled up onto Ferrothorn is because I'm always setting up the Sun with Max Flare, so the Fake Tears just guarantees that I KO it, basically, right? And even if not, your Lapras isn't KOing either of my Pokemon, so I should have gotten a third. Oh, he's got Max Light. I forgot, like, yeah, I don't know why I was like, oh, it doesn't have a way to change the, or to prevent itself from falling asleep. Okay, that's good. That's a good play. Alright, this is going to be a very interesting endgame then, depending on what my opponent's last Pokemon is. I think I need to Fake Tears. Oh, it's Togekiss. I still don't know the item on the Lapras either. Now, I have Weather Control, though, which is interesting. So it actually had Max Lightning, which makes me think it's Weakness Policy. You don't have a way to activate your Weakness Policy on this team, which is also interesting. There's no point in yawning. I think I'm just going to go for Fake Tears. I wonder if Dazzle KOs us. We're at +1 Spadef. So we can take attacks pretty well. Incineroar's at -1, so it's definitely not taking a Dazzling Gleam, but I don't think I can risk switching out here. Yeah, I think I just Fake Tears into Togekiss here and go for a Flare Blitz. Wait, that Lapras is min speed then, because this Incineroar's min speed. Max Lightning was obvious. That was... Ugh. Yeah, I was like, oh, if I yawn it, we have this game free. This game, I misplayed though by not doubling up onto Ferrothorn. Ancient Power, don't give me boosts here, please. I'm gonna cry if that actually gets boosts. Does it get it? Okay. And just a Freeze Dry. Okay, that's fine then. Yeah, it doesn't do too much. Okay. The problem is that we don't have Protect on Venusaur. I also don't know if Sludge Bomb KOs. But if this is the last turn of Terrain, I'm leaning towards just Dazzling Gleam and Sludge Bomb. That should KO the Togekiss. And it chips away at Lapras enough where we can Fake Tears and Energy Ball at next turn. Yeah, that sounds good to me. It might have been better to have gone for... I mean, oh, I guess the problem... Do we KO Togekiss here? Okay, we do. This is super intense. My heart is pumping. Okay. You're gonna Freeze Dry. I don't... This shouldn't KO us. Okay, nice. Whew. I think we're good then. It is actually Light Clay though. Okay. But I think that's fine. We can just Fake Tears. Now, we're not gonna KO with Fake Tears and Energy Ball, but... Lapras doesn't have a way to heal, and we're at +1 special defense. I mean, Lapras might be able to pull this off. Let's see. But I think Fake Tears Energy Ball should do a ton of damage to this thing. Like, it should bring it to around, I would say, like 15-20% maximum. Okay, let's see. Oh, never mind. We just KO. Nice. Oh, Slurpuff was so good for us. Indeedee was honestly really good for us in this match too. I really botched it by not doubling up onto Ferrothorn because Lapras was just not a threat at all. So I think I made one small misplay in this game that actually really was like a really bad misplay. Also, I didn't expect Lapras to be so slow. Like, I didn't think our min speed Incineroar would outspeed Lapras, so that caught me off guard as well. So my opponent was running min speed Lapras, so quiet or some whatever nature with 0 speed. But Fake Tears was huge for us. It allowed us to pick up the KOs even through Aurora Veil. So the main misplay was just not doubling up onto Ferrothorn with a... Because there's, like, once again, there's just no reason to really pressure Yawn onto Lapras anyway, because Max is going to end anyway, so... if I double up onto the Ferrothorn, you just don't KO my Indeedee. The following turn, I can just knock out the Ferrothorn with a Mystical Fire or G-Max, not G-Max Wildfire, Max Flare anyway. So, yeah. Definitely a really interesting set of games today. We went up against Primarina, we went up against Heliolisk. This last game was honestly super intense as well, and I definitely did not play perfectly, but some fun games overall, and I think once again that second game pretty much comes down to how turn 1 plays out, and that really dictates the course of the battle. So yeah, it's gonna be it for this one, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. If you enjoyed, please share your support by leaving a like, and I'll see you guys soon. Alright, peace.